Elon, I mean, you've definitely heard about the Elon Musk SpaceX, going to Mars and everything, colonizing Mars. So I guess with all of these other options also available to us, as you very well mentioned, in the solar system itself, obviously Venus is an exception in itself, but like Europa, for example, like basically the question here is, do you believe Mars is the correct planet to target in our solar system?
Well, certainly it's the closest, right?
True,
Mm.
true.
Europa's a lot farther away, and Celadon's even farther. um, so this is one of the reasons the advent of privatized space exploration is one of the reasons that we're getting so agitated and excited about questions of what's okay to do on Mars. When it was space agencies, then COSPAR, which is an international committee on space exploration, could set up a set of standards about how you have to sterilize any body, and the standards varied on the basis of how likely you thought it was that life could brought to another body could thrive. And so the space agencies have been self-regulating. They've been pretty good at complying with the COSPAR guidelines. Now you're beginning to talk about private enterprise. And there's no way to enforce these ideas about what's good and what you shouldn't do. I mean, there's no body. COSPAR is an offshoot of the UN, but still, we're not sending UN peacekeeping troops to SpaceX in Southern California to say, thou shalt not. So we're into another era of how we decide what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, what's the best for humanity. So there's actually, under the International Institute of Space Law, there's a subspecialty called meta law. Been around since the 50s, I think. And here people are trying to understand what the legal and ethical principles are for dealing with the other, right? So, right, how do you formulate a golden rule for interactions with an entity that isn't human? That how do you know what they would like to have done unto them, right? How do you deal with this? And so there's a question, at least in the scientific community, about if we find evidence of extant life on Mars, should we leave Mars to the Martians, right? What are their rights? How should we deal with it?
I was a little surprised when I heard the term international space law. Like, that's a thing? Like, there's no way that's a thing.
It is. It's not very well established or developed. It's actually taking off from the law of the sea. That's the basis for trying to formulate these legal ethical principles.